Alright, welcome to a very special game. This is Ghost of 6 a.m. We made a video on him, kind of a coaching video, and trying to see if he can get to 1500 ELO on the controller ladder. This is the game where he's going for it. He's at 1494, playing as the Malians, and he's going up against Sammy 19, who's 1387, so kind of where Ghost of 6 a.m. was like a few weeks ago, to be honest. So he's been climbing up pretty well. And we're going to see, how he does here. We're going to see if he's taken some of the things that, I've talked to him about and kind of other players have talked to him about, and I'm sure he's thought about on his own and kind of try to work out the kinks, right? So right now, looking at his idle TC, 3 seconds of idle TC, very good. He's going 6 on this first, goose, and then he's going for the rhinoceros. He's playing on Kilimanjaro. Kilimanjaro, let's take off the fog of war. Did want to see what his scouting was like. But Kilimanjaro is kind of, it has a bit of an Arabia element to it. You have this big area in the middle with a little flag on it and a little snow. So it's kind of a good area to control. There's only 2 golds in the middle, but there's only 1 gold near your base, and then you got another one way in the back here. He has berries on one side, chickens on the other. So he doesn't have to worry about pushing any deer like he did before. Now, he's playing as the Malians. So Malians, they have cheaper buildings. Their villagers give you more gold, right? So they're basically giving you 10% more gold than what's even on the map, which is awesome. And their barracks units, so their infantry, man-at-arms, all that, they're getting +1, +2, +3 pierce armor in feudal, castle, and imperial. And universities work faster too. So if you get to castle age and you build the university, you can do it. Now he's going up against the Cumans. Now the Cumans are a tough civ to go up against because they can build their second town center in feudal age, right? So they can get a really good economic lead if they choose to, but they don't have to. So sometimes you plan on it and they don't do it, and then you're kind of, you kind of have to rethink your strategy here. But that's their main bonus, right? Their other bonus, mounted units can move faster, archery ranges and stables are cheaper, and siege workshops and RAM are available in feudal age. Feudal age, really? Wow, that's crazy. And Kipchaks are awesome little units there. Kipchaks come out of their castle. They're kind of like cav archers, right? Malians, their unique unit is the Gabero. But I think Ghost of 6 a.m. likes them because of their infantry bonus. That extra pierce armor can be pretty good, especially when you're raiding up against like town centers and towers and things. So Sammy 19, very sneaky, came over here and stole a couple of geese. So that's gonna be tricky. So we have 9 seconds vital TC for Ghost of 6 a.m. Very, very good. The quick little coaching thing. I mean, this many on berries this soon. I've changed to having the mill 1 away from the berries, because when you have more than like 2 or 3 or 4, they start bumping and doing all that. So I'd say if you're gonna put a lot on berries early, you want to have the mill a little bit farther out. But other than that, that's not too bad. I do like the pushing of the ostriches here. I think that's very, very good. It's tough to do. That's definitely like something that you start doing when you're like in this range, this like top like 150, 200 range. That makes a difference big time, because it's so much extra food, right? Each of these ostriches are 140. So also, hang on, I want to show you guys something real quick. Let me see if I can do this. Oh, am I doing? I think I'm doing this already. Okay, hold on. I made this little logo. How funny. But I want to have this on gameplay. There we go. And I put it up here. That's a little Ghost of 6 a.m. logo. I think he might even have a logo. I don't know. He streams a lot. If you want to catch a good early morning stream, US time, I guess, he's always like at 6 a.m. streaming. Maybe that's where he got his name from. I don't know. I like the second lumber camp. That's really, really good on the way up to feudal. So far, definitely you can see a bit of a gap in terms of skill of Ghost of 6 a.m. versus their opponent. Their opponent is, you know, super inefficient over here, getting their hunt. Kind of by default, their mill is actually in a kind of better spot. They're taking their geese over here instead of under the town center. Like, you always want to take your food under the town center. The only thing I don't like about both these guys is if you have chickens, you build your mill on the chickens. You don't build your mill on the berries. And also, Ghost, you had 2 geese stolen, and you have 2 more geese that you didn't find over here. So I'm thinking you got to maybe scout around your base a little bit better. You know, you're scouting. It looks like you're actually scouting. I don't think this is auto scout. Let's see. Yeah, so you put your scout to go over there because you wanted to get a little intel. And we have a barracks and a stable going up. Okay. So that's a change from Ghost of 6 a.m. Usually, when he's playing Malians, I've seen him go more in the line of like Man-at-Arms Rush or like a fast castle. So let's see. But the stable's up, and I like it. Immediately click in the scout. Now the opponent, he's going to feudal age, and he's at 24 villagers, right? So he's definitely thinking about a second town center. He's long carrying these. He didn't go for the hunt here. So like this is where you want to scout your opponent. You really want to see, you know, what they're doing. Like I would look at this and I would see how their base is set up, and I'd just be like, oh, this guy's kind of a noob, you know, like no offense. But I'd be like, this guy doesn't have like a higher level skill set. So it just makes you like aware of what you're able to do against him. But Cumans have the second town center. It's going up right away. Wood lines are really rough on this map, huh? Very scattered. Not a lot of wood. Like, how much wood is here? Yeah, it's 3,000, like 2,300 wood over here. But the opponent's going for the economic approach, and when you go against Cumans, they're gonna get the second town center up, and it's gonna be a problem for you, right? Now they're building a market, but Go 6 AM, very, very good. 17-second title TC. That's like, I mean, that's as good as you could ever expect at this stage of the game. You know, I would have liked to see a mill on these chickens is the only thing before going to the berries. Also, it's always a good idea to like shift these to build farms, but really good farm placement. A lot of farms going up over here, and the scouts are going forward to try to get damage. And I like that you're attacking with 4 scouts. Like you're not like waiting for a whole bunch more. You're not waiting to build, get all the blacksmith upgrades. Like, you're just going to go attack. You do have the blacksmith up, though. And, you know, it's in this game, and I feel like market going up. You know, once you get the blacksmith up, like, you really want to get an upgrade, right? Like, there's not a whole lot of point of having the blacksmith going up without getting an upgrade. Same thing with the market. Like, you know, if you have a market, you want to have a use for it, a plan for it, more so than just building it. Because you don't need it, because you have the stable already, so you can just build either the market or the blacksmith. You don't need both. Like, he needs both because he doesn't have a barracks, so he doesn't have a archery range or a stable, so he wants to go to castle age. And this is where the Cumans can get tough, because you really can't attack them. You know, this map has pretty bad wood lines, so definitely want to try to find this wood line here. Because otherwise, it's a lot of investment into this military without getting a whole lot payoff for it. But you do have one kill though, so that's good. And he's trying to get a barracks, so denying that barracks, that's huge. That's really, really huge. And you just want to make sure your economy's doing well on the other side, which it looks like it is. You know, you're still up on villagers, even though he has the second TC. And he is going to Castle Age. So you're still going to have the economic lead for a while here. Because he's idling 1 TC. He doesn't have the resources. He just took him off of his wood line, which is beautiful. And I mean, against this, you actually would have been better off going infantry, probably. Because if you had infantry, you could kill the market over here, you could kill his houses, you could kill his barracks. Like, you could be doing damage even without getting any villager kills. There you go. That's a good find right there, though. Good work. Way to stay active. Way to stay active with the scouts. Like, that's huge. Getting those extra villager kills is, it makes such a difference. Such a difference. Especially when, like, you're punishing a, slightly sloppy play here. Now he's going to the mining camp. Great walling of your base, too. Ghost, you're going to be a top player, dude. Like, no joke. Like, if you want to be. Like, I know you play this for fun, and it's just, sometimes it's fun to mess around, but, like, your skill set is freaking there. Like, to be able to attack like that and keep your town center going and to have the foresight to, wall up a very difficult-to-wall base. So you're on your way to Castle Age, and you're getting infantry armor. So it looks like you're gonna go infantry, which I think is a good move. You're getting arson again for the infantry play, which I think is again a solid move. And we're going triple barracks. Now they don't have like a cheaper bonus, right? No. Universities work faster. Oh, Farimbo. Yeah, I forgot about Farimbo. No, just the Pierce armor is their bonus, which is a big bonus. So these infantry are going to be super, super tanky against arrows. Now he's got a third town center, so he's going full eco. And you're getting a second town center up, but you're going quadruple barracks. Okay, let's see. I mean, to go quadruple barracks, so you're setting it up to be able to build a lot of longswords. It looks like you're going for. My only suggestion here is there's no way to keep this production up and keep the villager production up. So I think at this point you have to choose like one or the other. I think you're more like setting up for the future, but you have these barracks that are here, but they're not really doing anything yet. They're just there. So these could have been more farms. These could have been, another town center even. Like, maybe have just 2 barracks and just have them actually producing, as opposed to 4 barracks and they're not producing. So that is my suggestion. And then add 2 more, once you're like floating wood, that's when you're like, okay, let's add them, right? When you're floating wood earlier, instead you want to just build farms. And university, I wonder what upgrade you're going to go for at the university. You're getting all your infantry upgrades here. Because university, I usually think you're going to want to get ballistics, but you're not making anything with archers, so I'm curious what the university's for. Or it could just be you're thinking about imp, and you just want to do a castle. Yeah, because you already built the TC and the TCs, so you're not on stone. So you're probably just building that to do a castle, or to go to imp. I mean, just thinking about the future here. You still got the scouts. You're still scouting with the scouts. That's good. Now you want to see where he's at. You realize there's a hole here. Hopefully. And longswords, 9 plus 2 attack, and 1 plus 4 pierce armor. That plus 4 pierce armor in Castle Age is nuts. So that's 5 pierce armor. That's like the equivalent of like Huskarls have 5 pierce armor, I think, or Jean Swordsman have 5 pierce armor. That's an awesome unit against archers. Now he hasn't shown you anything. He's just trying to boom. And he's not booming very well. He's at 45, you're at 49, and you're actually producing military. So you're definitely a leg up from him. But he has a plan, though. He has a plan to boom, and then he's going to build something at some point. Eco's looking pretty good. If it was me, I'd even delete this house. That house is just such an annoying spot for your farmers there. But gold income's looking good. He's getting a defensive castle here. So the only thing, like at this point, you have decent, military numbers, right? Nothing incredible, but you have decent military numbers. You need to at least know what he's doing. So your scouts went over there. Didn't really see anything because he doesn't have anything. You can kind of look at the score. You can see you're ahead in the score. I'd say at this point you want to put the pressure on. You don't want to wait too long here. Like waiting here isn't necessarily gonna do you any better. If you attack, you probably push him, maybe get him to quit. Maybe it's a short game. Move on to the next one. Bada bing, bada boom. Now he's going pikemen. Which, he's doing that because he has the spears, and he saw that you had cavalry before. So, that's going to be useless against what you actually have. And you moved a villager forward. You forgot about that lion, though. Some of these new animals are like, they're really tough. Like, you have to actually pay attention now. And you're going forward barracks. So, I mean, you already have all these barracks back here. You are producing out of it. I don't hate the idea of forward barracks. You're probably maybe better off doing forward siege. But again, you don't necessarily know what he's doing. You don't really have the intel. And you do have the villager lead. And you have way less idle TC time, and you're both on 3 TCs, so, like, you should be doing pretty well. Yeah, but it's tough to know how well you're doing until you start, like, at least probing. You know what I mean? Now he's building a very vulnerable lumber camp right in the front of his base. He has some vision. I don't know if he can see you. He must be able to see you, right? So this is what he can see. So he sees that you have that there. But again, I'm not sure what you're waiting for exactly. At this point, you have a pretty good economy. You should be worried that he has a better economy is what you should be worried about. Even though he doesn't really. It's about the same. A little bit worse. He probably has I think he has less upgrades. And here we go. Here's the attack. I mean, if anything, I do like this attack because you can just really spam your barracks units here. Now, the only thing, you are floating a lot of wood. So when you're floating that much wood, you want to just make sure you're pulling these guys off and building farms, I like to do it, I'm sure you do too. I like to put my gather points on the wood and then just pull them off and build farms. And this is a very solid attack, very solid attack. He's making kip checks. Kip checks are good, but because of your high pierce armor, I mean, they won't be, they'll tickle you. And where are these? He rang his town bell, I guess. Panic Castle here. And that's the GG. So I think you did a lot of things really, really well. I think that clearly you have a great base layout. Clearly you have a plan. You have a strategy. That's your 1500 right there. I think you got like +8 for this or something. So I'm going to keep an eye on Ghost of 6 AM. I think he's going to be rising up even higher. I think you're a couple steps away from like really taking the next leap. I think that the biggest thing, just watching this game especially, is just a little bit more aggression early. You know, recognize that he's going full in on economy, and he has a better economic civ, and you are more in on military, and you have a better military civ, at least especially early. So you want to punish him earlier, because if he was a better player, he's just going to have a better boom over here. He would see what you're making, and he would make counter units, right? So, you know, I think the Malians can catch some people off guard, because if you want to go archers against them, it's really tough. And, you know, things like Cumans, like maybe if you went knights, would have been a lot better. But yeah, I mean, really good play. Really good play. Congratulations. That's 1500 right there for you, bro. And hopefully we're going to see the road to 1600 soon. And then I'm going to have to get ready for you, because I'm going to see you on the ladder. So, all right. G to the G. See ya.